What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought it'd be fun to go back and test some of the old hypercars. If you missed my video I did like this on the rally raid, I'll link that in the description. But for me, for hypercars, there's just so many cars to talk about. I figured we should break it down by brand. So for this first video, we're going to do Bugatti. There are a lot of Bugattis. I think there's 17. Let me take a look. Correction, there are 18 Bugattis, one of which I don't have because I think it's the Devo Emerald Storm Edition. I do not have this guy because it's an exclusive Crew 2 vehicle, so I have to wait until it becomes available on the main stage. Otherwise, I have got the rest of them, so we're going to go through the rest of these cars. There's a bunch of them to talk about in this video. I'm not going to show you the test footage on every single one, but we'll talk about the most important ones like the Centodieci and others. So here we go. Let's go. All right, to start this off, we got the test course, Achieving Immortality, and my second one is Legendary versus Rivalry. This one tests its like high speed turn ability, if that's even a word, and Legendary versus Rivalry actually tests its ability to gutter and its ability to accelerate from low speeds. So that's what we're looking at. We're going to average those 2 times, and then we'll rank all of these Bugattis. I'll show you guys the most important tests so the video doesn't go for 50 minutes. So for this first one, we're going to take a look at the Bugatti Centodieci. Just so you guys know, testing happens with no NOS affixes because this is basically what you're getting in the grand races as far as parts go. So I want to know what the performance is like without having those NOS benefits. All right, my previous best time is 118.8, but I don't have a date on when I got that time. So I'm not even sure when or what settings I had. God, the Centodieci launches so hard. I just got to make sure I shift it. I need a little bit of slipstream here so I can get by you. I guess not. We got nothing else. The top of the gears. We're just going to use this slipstream as far as we can. There we go. Very good control with the Cento, man. It's definitely a contender for top of the Bugatti class. I did tap that pole on the corner, which gave me quite a bit of slowdown on that corner, made me use a little bit more NOS than I'm used to. All right, here we go. This is the turn. This is how I'm going to be taking it with all these Bugattis. Try to go through there, not hit the wall, but not hit the breakable fences either. All right, I went a little wide here. And up to top speed. Wow, it took all the NOS to get to 280. The car just struggles, and the top speed for sure. You want to save all your NOS for that top gear because this thing does take a while to get there for some reason. It's got incredible NOS power though. All right, first run, 19.1. So my first run back was a 19.1. My original best was an 18.8. I think we can do better. Let's take a look at the pro settings real quick and see if we can improve anything. Let's see if I left anything out on this one. Okay, so I've got power distribution. I made an adjustment going towards the front of the car. I think we could help that top end acceleration of that last gear by pushing more of the power to the rear. So let's do that. Let's drop it down to about 34%. As far as brake balance goes, I've got it pushed towards the front, but I think we should push it towards the rear for more effective braking. The braking distance is going to get a little bit longer if we go too far. So actually, let's leave it here at about 55. The load rear, I've got it at -5. I think I might keep that. We'll see what happens. It doesn't feel like it's losing too much traction, and it does seem to oversteer pretty well. I've got no adjustments in the suspension. It's incredible, actually. So let's stiffen up the front, less in the rear. Let's stiffen up the compression front, less in the rear. And then for rebounds, we're going to go -3 on both just to give it a little bit of cushion whenever it hits a bump. 10 and 10, -0.25 on both. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's see what happens. Man, I got an insane launch on that one. The car really hooked up for me. I'm not going to be having that slipstream that I got last time. Get a little bit of drag bump from him. Car feels solid still on the corners. Didn't hit the pole that time. Kept really good speed. Didn't have to use as much NOS. In the 80s, not bad, not bad. Let's see if we can make a nice turn. Nice, nice. Stable, controlled. Almost hit that wall, but we're going pretty good. In terms of speed, we're doing really well. Let's see if we can not take this corner super wide. Let's cut it a little earlier. There we go. and up to top speed. That was much better. Much better use of NOS as well. Learned a few things from that first run. Let's see if it's actually any faster. We got it up to 298. That's one thing this car does very well. Look at that, dude. We got an 18.823, which is almost identical to my best time ever. And we only did it on the second run. We can definitely optimize this a little bit more, especially with that shortcut through the, through that little shortcut there. So that's actually not bad. Not bad at all. That time that I set was pretty good because this run was decent for sure. Woo, there we go. An 18.2, almost a 17. So an 18.2, that's good. Right there is good. It was a good run. I'm leaving it there. 18.2. Let's check out Legendary versus Rivalry. All right, here we go. Let's see how many things I can mess up on this race. This is a very difficult race to get right. Driver skill is much more important here. And I don't really use this too much to rank the cars as much as I do to get an idea of how well they gutter, because there's so much driver error that could happen. So I hit both of those gutters, but not the fastest possible. Got to concentrate through these gutters, dude. I can't even talk and do this at the same time. There's no way. Barely made it through that one. The car gutters beautifully, man. And it's got good acceleration. This is the cut I always take with every car in the class. Oh, too hot. Way too hot for that one. Let's see what it does to my time. God, it has incredible NOS power. And what do we got? A 17.8, baby. All right, not bad. My previous best time was a 17.1, so obviously we made a few mistakes. 17.1. This was actually an okay run. It wasn't like the tightest, but it was all right. So I'm going to go a couple more times, see if I can't beat that 17.1. We're going to optimize it a little bit more. I had some issues, definitely. That one corner I just completely shot, and that's the difference. I would have got a better time had I not shot that corner. So let's see what I can do. I'll skip to the end of the next one. Let's go, baby. This is a better time. Oh my God, it's a way better time. A 16.3. I ran a 17.1. We brought it down to a 16.3. That's an incredible difference. I literally just hit that one turn, and we can show it on the replay. I hit that one turn, and the rest of it was basically the same. And yeah, that made the difference of 0.8 of a second. Well, actually, it made a difference of a lot more than that, but it was 0.8 of a second faster than my previous time. So there we go. 16.3 on this one. I don't know if any other Bugatti is going to beat that, but this is the benchmark. This is the bar that every other Bugatti has to jump over in order to be considered the best Bugatti. And I think everyone is thinking that this is it, but we'll see. We'll have to go through some of them and see what happens. All right, next let's talk about the Veyron Barchetta Velvet Edition. This car is a Summit reward. This was a Summit exclusive thing a couple of months ago. It's one of the only other Bugattis that I actually like driving besides the Centodieci. The Cento, basically top of the class here. I'm curious if this Barchetta can rival it in its times. So let's take it out. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Velvet Edition. Let's get it. What a launch, dude. The first test for this car is this first turn. How does it handle it? What speed can we keep? In the 50s? Okay, not too bad. No poles. We're up near 275. Not too bad. Let's get into the 80s here. Stay in the 80s here. Nice turn in. Oh, a little bit too late. Retry. Attempt number 2. Here we go. That was the high 50s that time. Let's go, dude. I hit the pole. Going across. That's a huge speed reduction. Well, not huge, but big enough to make note of it. We're still in the high 280s here. Perfect. Let's miss the poles. We hit one of them. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's make this turn nice. Perfect. Nice, dude. This might be a good time. We might be sub 20 on this. My best test time before this was a 19.9. What are we gonna do this time? We're up near 300. Oh, that's great, dude. That's great. 19.5. 19.5 is good. That is really, really good. Previous best time was a 19.9, and I don't really think we actually maximized the potential here, but I do think that this was equivalent to the Bugatti Centodieci run. So we're going to leave this. This is actually really good. We're going with a 19.505. Not too bad. Let's see what it does on Legendary versus Rivalry. All right. Velvet Edition. Can you beat the Cento by more than 7/10? You're behind 7/10 right now. Oh, okay. Okay. Not a bad corner. Not a bad corner. I really can't talk while guttering. Oh, screamed past that one. We're falling apart. Let's get it back together. Not bad. Oh, man. I don't know if we're going to beat this Bugatti, this Cento time. Keep saying Bugatti, but these are all Bugattis. A little bit of loss of traction there in the grass. To be expected a little bit. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Oh, an 18, bro. 18-0. That is not good. It's good compared to other cars. It's not good for this one. I made way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. My best test time on this is a 16.6. And that was literally earlier today. I ran a 16.6. Now I run an 18. Obviously, there's some issues there. I'm going to show you the test times on this towards the end of the video. I'll show you test times for all of the cars. But basically, this car is within 0.3 of a second of the Cento. The Cento having the best time on this course at a 16.3. This is the only car that rivals the Cento in terms of its test times. I don't know if it actually rivals it in terms of its performance. You still see the Cento really taking center stage when it comes to escapes and things like that. So anyways, let's move on. There's two more cars that I want to talk about, and that's the EB110 and the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus Devine Edition, which is an exclusive Summit car from the Crew 2. This is a car that basically everyone wanted in the Crew 2. It was very exclusive, and now it's in Motorfest because it's buyable in the Crew 2. I don't remember exactly if that car is like actually just straight up available here or if you have to buy it in the Crew 2. Anyway, doesn't really matter. The point is, those are the other two cars we need to talk about, and then we can show you the test times results for all of the other Bugattis. All right, here we go. This is the EB110 Anodized Edition. This is the only Bugatti that doesn't have a strong launch. Actually, not the only one. One of the only ones that doesn't have as strong of a launch as this this car here in first place. So let's see what happens. God dang, it keeps good speed, dude. It's so nice. I got to get this turn right, though. See if we can get it right this time. Oh, it's just so smooth through that section. So smooth. So much smoother than the Barchetta. Basically on par with the Cento. Understeered that a little bit. We got to get back this way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Love being in 6th gear and just being able to blast the NOS there. Not having to shift. This is going to be a decent time. Probably a 19. Let's see what happens. It's going to be close, man. A 19.823. Not bad, man. Not bad. My best test time before this was a 19.872. So I'll take it, man. 19,823. All right, now for skill issue central, aka legendary versus rivalry. Man, not great. Not great gutters there. I mean, I stayed in them, but that's a little better. Oh my gosh, 2 in a row. 3 in a row, let's go! This car is just so good for guttering, man. It's got great braking too. Extremely controllable. In the gutter, it feels planted and not shaky. See how nice that is, dude? That one was a little bit funky, and that was my fault. I don't think the handling is as good for this car as it is for the Cinto or the Barchetta, but it's just so nice to drive, man. Come on, come on, come on. A 19. Not great. Not great. All right, so my best test time, you can see the things that I was struggling with here. I had a few gutters that were really bad. My best test time, which was a much cleaner race, was a 2:17.450. I'm leaving this one for the video because we don't need to drag this out much longer. We've been talking about all these cars. So 2:17.4 is going to be the best test time. This puts it about 0.6 of a second on average behind the Velvet Edition, and the Velvet Edition is about 0.8 of a second behind the Centodieci. So you have 1, 2, and 3 in terms of Bugatti. Those are the 3. Now, the final one I want to talk about is the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus. This is, like I said, a car that's highly sought after. And so a lot of people are asking, how good is that car compared to these? So let's talk about that one real quick. My best test time for this is a 19,639. Let's see if we can beat that on this particular attempt for the video. This is a car that I think is sort of in line with the Anodized Edition EB110, but it feels a bit heavier to drive. All right, first turn. The turn-in is good. Handling is nice, but it loses a lot of speed on that corner. All right, there we go. Back up to speed. We're in the 80s. Let's keep it there. Almost hit those poles. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Turn it. Okay. Oh, we lost the back end. We made it through there, dude. That was the first time for the video. I've had several attempts now, and we finally made it through. Let's see what happens. See, this is one of the issues with the car. It loses a ton of speed in those corners, man. So compared to the EB110, I really think that's where it's losing out. It's not able to maintain the speed. It can make the corner. The handle's okay, but it doesn't maintain speed while doing it. And that's one of the things that sort of separates this car from a lot of the cars in basically all of Hyper, is that it doesn't maintain that speed. So it actually handles it. It, like, you know, takes the corner, but it slows down a lot to do it. So my best time, again, was a 19.6. I ran a 20.1. This is obviously not the most optimized because I've got a faster time. Let's go to a legendary versus rivalry real quick and see if we can beat our time. All right, here we go. As you can see from the previous attempts here, this course is absolutely driver skill dependent. So a lot of these times that I look at for this, I just look at what range is it in. See, like, I fell out of the gutter on that one. Like, what kind of cars is it comparing to, you know? So let's see what happens here with this run. Not a bad gutter, not a bad gutter. We had good braking. Brake it, brake it, brake it. Come on, hit the gutter. I was throwing it way too fast into that. Does feel easy to drive. Like the gutters feel nice. It's not like it's a pain. Just the speed you have to slow down to in order to take some of these corners is a lot slower than some other cars. And I think that's where Bugatti really struggles outside of being the car brand that understeers the most. Downshift here. Let's go. Really not a bad time at all. A 17.4. Let's go, dude. A 17.4 is actually really good. That's really not bad. For this car, it's good. I beat my time by 1.5 seconds on that race. And I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes. So I think my time might have been a little bit old, maybe. But a 17.414, let's write it down. All right, so as you can see at the top of the list here, you've got the Centodieci, the Velvet Edition, and then the 300 Plus Devine Edition, and the Anodized Super Sport. Those are definitely the top 4 cars. This might not be the order I would put it in my mind. I like the EB110 Anodized Edition a little bit more than I'd like the Devine Edition 300 Plus. However, those times are really, really close. I mean, between those top 4, you have this, you know, sort of little tiny steps between. The biggest step I think would be the Cento. It's got an 18.2 on achieving, and I think I can actually improve that a lot more. Maybe another 5, 6, 7 tenths of a second there. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is you've got sort of this clear favorite, the Cento, which basically everyone knew. Then you've got the Velvet Edition, the 300 Plus, and the Anodized Edition. I think the 300 Plus and Anodized Edition are so close. They're only separated by 1/10 of a second on the average time between those two races. So those cars are basically interchangeable. That could be 3 and 4 in any order. But then you've got the EB110 Super Sport. Anyway, so here is the full testing results for all of Bugatti with the exception of the Emerald Storm Edition. I don't have that guy, but the rest of them are here, and when I get that car, I'll go ahead and throw it into the mix. I just figured the Bugatti's got basically no love in this game, with the exception of the Cento, which is pretty decent. But I also wanted to show you not only the Bugattis against themselves, but also the Bugattis against everything else. So here's the full list, and the highlighted lines are the Bugattis. Everything else that I've tested is there, but this is where they rank in terms of, like, you know, overall performance. But please keep in mind the variable here, the one that you need to pay attention to, is driver error. It definitely plays a part. It can mean the difference between a 1/2 second or a second on some of these times. So you basically take this with a grain of salt. This is kind of where they're ranked. I am very confident in the top 4. I do think those are the best 4 performing cars in terms of Bugattis in Hypercar. However, the order of all of this could be slightly different. Anyways, rather than waste any more of your time with the tunes being on screen, you guys could just go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest tools from the top, and then you can find my tunes right there. All of these tunes are uploaded into that website. It's easy to access. You can do it on your phone. It's a very nice little site. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this. Give me some feedback in the comments. Would you like to see more of this type of testing? Full brands in like various different categories. Let me know, please. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.